things he's doing daily people. The week has been marked by several engagements led by the president across different areas, inclusive of governance. Ramadan today, or the end of Ramadan today, and people will normally say Eid Mubarak. I'll add my voice to the others to say Eid Mubarak to our Muslim brothers and sisters celebrating. On behalf of His Excellency has also enduring values of compassion, discipline, generosity, and unity, values that are deeply needed in our collective journey towards social harmony and national development. Remember, those who are less fortunate, let the spirit of care, giving, forgiveness, and togetherness guide our actions, not just go and joyous celebration, as the nation beseeches Allah Almighty to lend favor and approval to your prayers and supplication made for our nation. Part, Excellency Mamadi Doumbouya of the Republic of Guinea and His Excellency Julius Maada Bio of the Republic of Sierra Leone, the framework of the Mano River Union, ended on the evening of Monday and when the president returned. And during the meeting, the three leaders agreed to maintain the status and expressed the importance of collective actions to preserve stability along their shared borders, strengthening security cooperation, and to deepen good neighborliness among their neighbors. Conclusion of the summit, the heads of state adopted key resolutions, but the following positions were key. One, they expressed concern over the growing incidence of global crisis and they agreed to strengthen joint effort to combat insecurity, terrorism, transnational organized crime, and trafficking. They also committed to the joint deployment or development to prevent and manage border incidents, facilitate community-level engagement, and advance technical work on border clarifications and demarcation with Tristan's dedication to safeguard Liberia's peace and stability amid tension. The letter that she wrote requesting her resignation, the president did accept the resignation, but requested that she considered or reconsidered an extension up to the end of this month, which is March. Visited Margibi County, specifically ceremony of a $1.6 million newly constructed Kakata Senior Secondary School. The school to, online learning facilities and other things. For the president, this is his way of ensuring that the educational system is improved. And in his speech yesterday, he did mention that looking forward for developmental initiative for our country. Yesterday morning, did meet with the head of the World Bank Group, of the needs of the Liberian people, and looks forward to collaborating with the government in addressing key challenges. He disclosed plans to facilitate approximately 100,000 essential to expanding opportunities and improving lives of Liberian people. Mr. Dinohu will continue his engagement. In the Liberian Senate and talk about a number of different things. There was a plan for him to meet. There was a plan for him to meet the Senate earlier. During the closing or before the annual program. However, due to his visit, the arrested gender, the government, and other key areas. Of course, security was also mentioned as part of the conversation. So far, we'd like to thank you for coming and for your interest, and we look forward to
eventually until this particular dispute can be resolved. Now, I'm looking at Liberia's economic activities with Guinea. It's going to be taken into consideration. Are we comparing the economic impact that it might have, and are we looking out for alternatives? If that gaps in Liberia's border security, strategy. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam PD. Good afternoon, Madam PD. Yes, my name is Anthony J. from Think in that meeting. Thank you. Yes, my name is Anthony J. from Think in that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll take you. Oh, you want to ask? Yes. Go ahead, Louis. Take you. Oh, you want to ask? Yes. Go ahead, Louis.
Okay. Good afternoon, Madam PS. My name is. Okay. Good afternoon, Madam PS. My name is Lois Bibi Elabukusha. We are talking about Lois Bibi Elabukusha. We are talking about where the Kenyan soldier want to occupy. Where the Kenyan soldier want to occupy has been under Nigeria control for so many years. Soldier want to occupy has been under Nigeria control for so many years. What triggered this particular issue that we are now facing?
Used
this particular issue that we are now facing.
Used or resolve, and that people go back to how it was. People go back to how it was whilst they've called for intervention from other institutions, specifically and exactly what the president is doing. He's brought together his team. They've worked and they're continuing to work even as I speak. They've been back and forth consultation. They're continuing to work even as I speak. They've been back and forth consultation around to one of police leadership in the ranks can express the opinion. But normally in this matter, make possibilities and other alternatives and whatnot. I mean, asking for border closure will be extreme, and we've not reached that. We'll be informed as to diplomacy or whether this situation has exposed Liberia. I don't think so. I think these in places, even land dispute for countries. And this is not the first time this has happened. You know, in Liberia have had border dispute support as needed, and that's exactly what he's continuing to do, along with his team, from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the security team to just everyone who's concerned with this, also with the national
transparency in this government cannot be overly emphasized. Recently, we witnessed the resignation of the chairperson of the Office of the Ombudsman. Allegation surrounding his resignation. Other anti-graft institutions has a risk alarm concerning his resignation, including the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia Center.
Yes.
Madam Press Secretary, my name is to fill a program, and unfortunately, the bus broke down. And I want to get this one. Where are we with this entire? Bus issue?
I will find out if you read or engage the protesters, as to what the issues are or what the concerns are. Because from your question, you didn't the Minister of Education. In fact, the people of Kakata did gown the Minister of Education as well as the World Bank team, and they specifically meant across different sectors. So salary increment is something, if you look where we took civil servants from, if you speak with the CSA team, they will tell you that we've done extremely well. Improving educational access, improving salaries and other issues. So, I mean, with the situation with MCSS is something that been back and forth, but it's something that the team at MCSS, they're on top of it. That, in fact, communication between the ministry and the team there to ensure that investigation takes place. So it's not just going to be, there's an allegation and then you resign and leave. That part is not going to be set, and the president is very clear on that. So get sick and we need to be taken care of. Yes, we do. It's not to say we do not have challenge. Of course, we do have challenge, and you all as members. It's not to say we do not have challenge. Of course, we do have challenge, and you all as members of the press code has taken serious cognizance of. We do. When we came here, we met. In fact, we'll tell you when the ministry team came here. And when the event concluded, we made sure that we had conversation with members of the Ministry of Education and others. They were able to help us bring journalists back. So there was no point in time that any particular journalist event and from the event. To also mention, I do know, one of the other things we believe, journalists that are here, they are independent. We know how difficult it is. Most media institutions, they're resource stranded. So we as government, we support journalists. We provide vehicle support. We provide other form of support. So this shouldn't be taken out of context to say, but if you know what we're talking about, you understand that it is the role that we bear, and we've never even one day tried to
they shouldn't panic. They shouldn't panic about the ass. First, they shouldn't panic about the ass. First, about the ass. First, increment due to the war. Increment due to the war. U.S. and Israel were in the Middle East. Due to the war, U.S. and Israel were in the Middle East.
Yeah, the
U.S. and Israel were in the Middle East.
Yeah, the last press briefing, when we specifically explained and said that or re-emphasize the position of the LPRC, the Liberia, or re-emphasize the position of the LPRC, the Liberia petroleum gas producing country, and we emphasize that. Liberia is not one gas producing country, and we emphasize that. Liberia is not one of Liberia is not a party to the situation is not a party to the situation happening. Liberia does not have control over is not a party to the situation happening. Liberia does not have control over when the war happening. Liberia does not have control over when the war is going to start or end. I mean, when the war is going to start or end. I mean, when it got specifically as to when the war is going to start or end. I mean, when it got specifically as to when the war will stop, and what's going to happen. We are very clear, Ojukwu, and what's going to happen. We are very clear, Ojukwu, when we did say that this situation, we all pray that it doesn't last long, but the longer it goes of petroleum product to the world, and it's not just a Liberian situation. It's not just a Liberian situation. It's not just in Liberia situation. It's not just in Liberia. In Liberia, is in Guinea, Ghana, Nigeria, just all over us, Sierra Leone. And I did also talk about the need of business people not to hoard, because, and the government is very clear on that. You've seen situations where people who have produce and they're hiding it. The gas they're hiding, and it's been clear that places, in some areas, the goods have been confiscated, and that action will continue because you don't want to confiscate it, and that action will continue because you don't want to, put your people at harm's way. Add our voice to the conversation around where we are as a country. So yes, when the war continues, the challenges will be dire, and to the conversation. I hope this clears your doubt. And also what we said, again, I will re-emphasize, and I hope you hear or you listen or you go back to your clips. It's very clear that we did say that, of course, discussion will be held and you all will be updated as to that. Yes.
All right. The president has acknowledged the resignation of Madam Atty, second year president of the National Election resident in Lofa, where the land is. I want to know what support is being provided to residents of border communities who may feel threatened or displaced. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a great question. Is there another question?
Yes. My
Okay, I did say, I hope you listen, I did explain to what the meeting did. And I also mentioned that it was a closed-door meeting, and I wouldn't tell you the nitty-gritty or the play-by-play demonstration sense, primarily on the current status of the country where we are, the status of the arrest agenda, security concerns, concerns of what's happening between Liberia and the Guinea. Both come back again to reconnect before they go on the annual break. So yes, those were the parameters of the conversation. As to what support that the residents in the area across, because most people are at border areas, they do business on the other side, they commute in between, some even do schooling in bordering areas. So the government how we operated. So as of yet, none of the security team there have said that their leaders have asked them to do anything otherwise. So the expectation is that all sides will be vigilant, but community, the security team will be there. So should they hear anything, should they see anything? And the president did also talk, and people, executive mansion platforms, listening to some of you who are here. Good. I'm not doing any particular PR for you guys, but you accept the president's request. And today is what, the 20th? So there's 11 more days. So probably by the time we are back, there may be some, new person appointed, or some, maybe not. But yes, it's in fact a case.
Yes, so finally, the president will have a meeting with his counterpart in Guinea. Upon his return, following a conversation that resulted to a communique that asked both teams to go back to status quo ante. His colleagues, his counterpart, sent or the military of Guinea now returned to the very point that they were taken from. Has the president been able to communicate with Jomoya, Solomon Port of Entry? Now the president returned to Liberia. The next day, the military returned to the very point they were taken from.
Call this person, or call the next person. Like I mentioned, he consults, he does everything he would love to do. So again, this is a security matter that is guided by security protocol to his country. As to whether he called, there was a specific agreement. And in diplomacy, the expectation is that once you had a meeting with your colleagues, you go back, you go to implement. Whatever the decision or discussion was on the Guinean side, the president is president of the Republic of Liberia. He talks to his security team, do what you can, be at the border, support, whatever support that's necessary. On the Guinean side, the expectation is that the Guinean president did inform his team what to do. So I'm sure, it's not something that the president will take a phone. So if you monitor the current situation, calms have been restored. The Liberian team members are on their side and the Guinean on their side. Of late, we've not heard any specific as to say that the Guinean soldiers are on the Liberian side, as at the latest information that has been given to the president. So should there be a need for the president to call, he will definitely do that. But as at yet, the president have not done that. And also, if you listened earlier, we did say part of the agreement was that the different leaders, the three leaders, they will visit each other. So you might probably, maybe soon, see the Guinean president coming to Liberia, or the Sierra Leonean president coming to Liberia, or the team going to Sierra Leone, or Guinean, president going to Sierra Leone. So again, there are possibilities, and that's something that they all agree on. So we all will continue monitoring. You all, I encourage you to monitor, and also monitor the authoritative sources. Follow the authoritative sources, the government, Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, LINA, LBS, ourselves, and we'll do our best to give you update as we receive them and as we are giving access to inform all of you. Thank you all. It's been a wonderful afternoon, and wishing you all a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.